Hello, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, thanks for watching and please subscribe. And if you're a goldie oldie, thanks for coming back. Today I'm going to attempt to answer a question I get asked a lot. People say, am I a medium? Or could I be a medium? And what I wanted to do was explain to you how to know that you're a medium, the signs that are there for you. So I've come up with 7 signs or ways that spirits let us know that they're there waiting for the communication and the way they try to come through. And if you're experiencing any of these, then you probably are a medium. A medium is the man in the middle, basically. It's the person that is able to connect with the spirit world and with the living and be the conduit through from messages from spirit to the people, and also either way as well, because sometimes messages come through that are for the benefit of the people on earth, but sometimes we can reassure a spirit as well, so it kind of works both ways. So a medium is there as a conduit, nothing more, nothing less. They're not meant to put their own spin on things, they're not meant to add on or take off. They're there simply to pass on what is coming through. But, you know, mediumship tends to grow on people, and they tend to have all sorts of odd things that happen before they actually ask the question, am I a medium? Am I mediumistic? Did I get something there or did I not? And that's what I'd like to do this video on today. So I've made a wee list, so the glasses have to come on and off, excuse me. But one of the first signs that you are a medium is simply that you've got an interest in it enough to ask the question. Now, unless you're a journalist, maybe doing research on videos or whatever about the spirit world, if you're on this channel and you're watching me and you're on this video watching it and waiting for answers, then you're more than likely a medium or have mediumistic abilities. And that sounds very easy, doesn't it? A bit of a cop-out. Number one, if you're interested, you are. But I believe that we're all born with this ability, and you know, children are amazing mediums. They just say what they get, don't they? Mummy, there's a man, or Mummy, my gran said to me, blah blah blah, and we accept it from children. But then when we become adult, we've maybe lost it a bit, or we've squeezed it out of our lives, and then when it starts coming back, or we're starting to become more open to it, we then have the question, am I a medium? But if you look at your life, the fact that you've got this interest, it's coming from something. It's not coming from nowhere. It's maybe coming from some of the other signs I'm going to give you that the spirit world is trying to communicate with you. So if you've got an interest and you're here now, then you're more than likely a medium, or could develop to being a medium. We've all got mediumistic qualities, but it's just like, you know, I could teach someone, maybe if I was into music and I was a teacher, I could teach someone to play the piano at a decent level, but there'll always be Mozarts out there who are naturally talented. But I think if you tune into some of the things I'm giving you, if you feel that you're getting these things, then at the end of the video you should probably be thinking, well, how can I develop this? How can I be more open to it? I haven't done that video yet, but it should be up quite soon. Okay, so that's the first thing, the fact that you've got an interest in it. Number 2 is the one that frustrates me with clients the most, because I'll sense that they're people are round about them in spirit and trying to get things to them, or have even managed to communicate with them, and they'll say, no, I don't get messages, but my dad was in my dream last week. Spirits come in dreams. To open up to mediumship, you've got to be very relaxed. You've got to have a certain form of brainwave that allows you to connect at that level and makes it easier to be the conduit. And again, we'll talk about that in another video. But when you go to sleep and you go into dream time, it's very similar to that level of brainwave. So when you have someone that's passed over come and sit with you in a dream, or talk to you in a dream, or talk to you, tell you things you should watch out for, that is spirits talking to you in dream time. They're using, it's like you're in this room, they're in that room, and dream time is a room somewhere in the middle. And instead of you having to go all the way there or them coming all the way here, dream time is the medium itself. It's the place where both of you can go and connect. And I've had many amazing connections with my own dad in dream time, and he's stronger in dream time actually than he is ever coming through as a spirit. So remember that if you dream about someone that's more of a memory, and it feels okay but not that intense, no, I wouldn't say that is spirits coming in your dream. But if you thought, oh, my mum was in the dream and she was sitting at the edge of my bed in my dream, she was chatting away to me, yes, you are in medium. Your spirits are trying to talk to you. They're coming to you, and they're coming to you in a way that is easy for them, and also without you trying too hard is very easy for you as well. So please know that spirits in your dream are not, oh, it was just a dream. No way. It was communication, okay? So number 3, changes in temperature. I know this is a very physical one, but we've all seen the old stories where ghosts appear and the air gets very cold or whatever. But to be honest, when spirit does break through, or they're around your home or whatever, there does tend to be areas that the energy is different, and it's because basically when they come through there's a kind of ionization in the air, and that ionization can lead to the temperature to drop a bit, and that's simply all it is. It's a sign that they're there. So if you're in a perfectly normal temperature and all of a sudden the temperature drops, or say you walk somewhere and on the walk you go through what you see is a cold spot, and I got a shiver down my spine, I'm cold, that's a good indication that there's a spirit there, or that's where a spirit tends to come, because they do leave a kind of ionization trail. It's a kind of an electromagnetic energy that even if they're not there, there's still the memory of their energy, and it's a good way of actually finding out maybe in your house where the spirits come more frequently, and then maybe just go and sit there and open up. But these are the signs. So a change of temperature can be a good indication that there's a spirit around or has been around, okay? So that's a good one, and it's quite an easy one because you can feel it physically. It's just some people again go, oh, I've got a wee bit cold, I wonder why it's got cold in here all of a sudden, and they're not really realising that probably, although they can't see the spirit, that it's probably right in their auric space. The number 4 is very much, again, another one that will say, do you know, I think I saw something out the corner of my eye, but I'm not sure. You're like, yeah, you did. They'll say, oh, I sensed movement, or I saw light out the corner of my eye, or I saw something moving. That is normally spirits, and sometimes can be seen on camera as orbs. Now, orbs in photographs are really quite specific. They don't look like bits of dust on the camera lens. They don't look like fingerprints. They have a very specific shape. They have a very specific density look to them, and that's why it's quite easy when I'm sent photographs to be, yeah, there's orbs, trick of the light. So if you maybe have a special occasion and you get your photos back and there's some orbs over them and you think that's what it is, you're probably right, and I don't mind if you send me them in an email and I'll have a wee look for you. That's not a problem at all, okay? So seeing orbs in photographs, catching things out the corner of your eye, feeling you've just missed something, that's normally a sign that your spirit beings are round about you as well, which is lovely. I love seeing orbs in photographs of a special occasion. It's just gorgeous. Right, the next thing, number 5, is the word coincidences, but I don't think there's such a thing as coincidences, but for our spirit beings to be around, they sometimes get very frustrated with us because they do show themselves in a lot of coincidental thoughts, feelings, things going on. So say you were thinking of your mum and you were having a wee thought about her and the memory, and then you got up to make yourself a cup of tea and the radio was on, and a song that was very, very, very personal to your mum and you come on the radio. That's your spirit trying to give you a message and communicate with you. We all know these things like coincidences. Oh, you know, I thought this and I was going this way and I went out, I got changed, and then I went past my mum's old house and then I felt that she might have been there, and oh, it was just a coincidence, you know. Or, you know, events that happen and there's some sort of synergy that leads us to know and connect with something that happened with someone else, you know. Maybe a child is born and they're born at exactly the same time as a spirit being that's just left, or they're brought in with a very similar characteristic. Think of coincidences, and also, because I don't feel I'm giving this one over very well, but if you've got your own example of coincidences that led you to believe that a spirit was connecting and communicating with you, please put it in the description box below, the comments below rather, and we can all chat and we can all learn from one another, because I'll probably finish this video and go, oh damn, why didn't I put that in, and why didn't I put that in? But I've been asked for this so often, I just wanted to do it and get it done. So join in, let us know your coincidences. I have had so many in my life. Some of them have been absolutely amazing, where I was maybe thinking of my son in spirit and missing him a wee bit. And you know, maybe there was I've had an occasion where someone of the same name many years previously had gifted me a present, and that was ages and ages ago, but when I was thinking of my son, for some reason the tag from the present with the same name on it turned up on the bed in front of me, and it was like, what? How? Where did this come from? So there's things like that, and they are wonderful, but we're too good at saying, oh, that was a coincidence, that couldn't happen. So please let me know what your so-called coincidences are. Right, let's see where's next. Number 6, there's a lot of things that over the years many people have seen as symbols of our spirits, letting us know that there is the feathers, the white feathers that come from nowhere. You know, if you live beside a duck pond, this doesn't really work for you, but you know, if you're in the house and all of a sudden you're thinking of someone and then a feather comes from nowhere, it's like, whoa. Some people believe that spirits leave pennies or little coins about in places of interest, or to give people an idea that they've been looked after. Sometimes spirits will move things. You know, you maybe know that you put a photo frame up, and when you go back in the room it's either moved or fallen over. That's an indication that your spirit people are there. Definitely one I believe myself in so many terms as little robins in the garden. I believe days after my dad passed, I saw him come back as a robin in the garden, and it was a beautiful, beautiful feeling. I'm always excited when I see robins, especially when it's almost like a coincidence that I've maybe been singing my dad's song and the robins come up the step and just looked at me. These things are amazing. They fill me with awe. They fill me with, they just fill me up, honestly. To know that they can do these things, it's amazing. So you know, that many cultures have different things, feathers, pennies, changes, things moving about. Electrical changes are, whoa, I have a son in spirit that's very, very good at changing things that have anything to do with electricity or sound. You know, you could be sitting and then, you know, your TV come on for no reason. Okay, yes, there's a chance that the person next door is in the same sort of remote thing for you. In a lot of ways, yes, there can be very practical, non-paranormal reasons for these things, but in many, many instances, there's not, and they simply are what they are, that a spirit has used an electrical power to actually let you know that they're flashing lights. In a lot of my past readings, I used to sit in this wee cottage and we'd feel a spirit coming through and the light would flash like mad. And then when they went, the light would be fine. It never changed for the rest of the reading. So that was always an interesting one for me. It seemed to happen more here. And I don't know if it was maybe like outside the cottage is very dark, so it's very more effective when the lights go on and off. But yeah, changes in electrical things. The seventh one I'm going to give you is an odd one, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it can happen for when there's prediction and stuff as well. But from a spiritual point of view, if just imagine in normal life, not paranormal life, you were sitting in a room maybe with your back to the door and you were reading. Now, I firmly believe that somewhere in our instinct we know if the door opened and someone come in, not even using our maybe hearing or whatever, something lets us go, what? Now, that can then bring an anxiety, and sometimes it's the anxiety that comes first. You know, you're sitting and then you get this anxiety and then you turn and say, oh, it's only my husband, goodness, that's fine. Well, spirits coming into your auric field or coming into your zone can feel the same way. So if you can't see a spirit or maybe hear them or whatever, the first indication that you might get is that you could be sitting feeling as calm as anything, and then all of a sudden there's an anxiety. Now, the anxiety is your subconscious telling you that some energy has come into your auric space, because your auric space is defined by your energy and all the feelings and all the intuitions that go on with that. So if a spirit comes towards it or into it, you have that spiritual intuition as well. And the way that that can manifest physically is anxiety. So if you have full-blown anxiety and medical stuff, that's fair enough. You need to get that seen too. I'm not saying anything about a full clinical anxiety or mental health issue. But if normally going throughout your day, everything's kind of okay, and then from nowhere, suddenly you get this, anxious, that can be a sign that a spirit has come close or come into your auric space. And I'd like you to think on that, because sometimes when you feel that anxiety, the first thing is like people go, oh my goodness, what's that about? Oh, that's silly, I don't like feeling like this. But the thing I would say is maybe to ask, is it a loved one's passing date? Is it a birthday? Do I need a spirit round about me? Have they maybe tuned into the fact that I'm a wee bit low today? Think why a spirit would be coming in. Now, if the anxiety keeps happening, it shows, and it is to do with the spirit coming into your auric space, the best thing that you could learn is some psychic protection, so that they can only get into that space when you invite them, even if they're loved ones, even if they're best pals in spirit. When you learn how to control your mediumship and work with it, spirits aren't allowed in that auric space unless they're invited, and that comes through you putting up your barriers, you putting up your parameters of, I will work with you as long as you don't do this, this and this. And that's why a lot of older mediums or mediums that have been doing it for a long time, they don't get those mad anxiety moments anymore, because theoretically their auric space is protected. So if you're getting little bouts of anxiety, not that don't stay too long, but they kind of come in and maybe they're gone again in 5 minutes, and you think, what was that about? That could be an indication that you're mediumistic and that your spirit has been round about you, actually so close that it's come into your auric space. So that's my 7 main ones. I would add on that I get to know when I'm not seeing spirits, how they approach and what they feel like. My mum gives a warmth, a kind of beautiful warmth over both my hands, and that was the reason. The reason I understand that is before she died, I always kind of cuddled her or whatever, and when I was about to leave that night, she took both my hands in hers and held them like that over both my hands and said, I love you. And I thought, oh, that's a bit odd, Mum, but that was intense, but fair enough. And she died that night. Now, it took me a while to realise that sometimes when I was sitting with my hands like this, I would get this feeling of energy over them, and I would at the same time sense my mum, and that's the way she shows herself. I know of a little girl spirit that kind of went tragically, that alerts her family members by almost giving them a kind of, it's almost like a hit in the head. It's like boink, and they feel this, and that's her, I call it her signature, and my mum's signature is the hands. And there's other spirits that I know will come through in a certain place in the house, or they have a signature smell. You know, my dad, when he does get through, I can smell tobacco smoke off him. So you can, every spirit has its own signature, and they can be great indications that they are around you, but it's up to you to really open up to that and to think, oh, what's that smell? God, that smells like my dad. Put 1 and 1 together and get 2, please, rather than just leaving 1 and 1 and not connecting. You know, I get spirits coming through sometimes that say, I'm so frustrated. I've been around them for years. I've moved ornaments. I've let my smell out. I've done this. I've done that. I've even sat in the bed and left a dent. And they're not putting it together. And I think, oh, you poor soul. And then it's up to me to pass on, you know. And it's telling someone that a spirit's really frustrated with them is not a fantastic thing to do, but it certainly can give a kick up the backside. So if you have experienced some of the things I've said on the video today, and there's a few of you that experienced all of them, so if that's you, let the video be your kick up the backside. Let's learn more about it. Let's talk in the comments, talk to one another, not just myself, although I do try to respond to every comment. And let's get a conversation going on this. As I say, I have been requested to do more videos of, now you know the signs, but how do you develop? If there's anything that you want me to do in the videos, please ask. I've got a big book now, and all my ideas are going in it, and all the requests are going in it, and I'm really happy to do these things for you. I really am. So give me a thumbs up if you like this type of video, subscribe, comment. There's a wee PayPal donate button if you want to support the channel for equipment and stuff like that. That's up to you, but I have been asked about that as well. So yeah, let's get this moving. I've steered mostly towards clairvoyance and psychic stuff and healing and auras, but it's time to, I think, go back to my roots, which was initially mediumship. So let's get this going. Many blessings, and I've so enjoyed passing this on. Can't wait to do the next step in it. Bye now.